PS Viters, 'tis I, Mike Martins, your handheld junkie. And today I got a really special review for you guys. Today I'm going to review the first game I bought for the PlayStation Vita when I picked up my system. And it's a game I spent a lot more than a week playing to test out, believe me. It's a game I spent quite a bit of time playing. Persona 4 Golden for the Vita. Persona. And I want to tell you guys the greatest time I've ever had playing this game. A rumor is going around school that by looking at the TV at midnight on a rainy night, the face of your soulmate will be revealed. But a grisly chain of murders seemed to be connected to the rumor, and you must gather a team of strong enough to brave the bizarre world inside the TV to solve a mystery. One of the biggest and best RPGs of all time levels up with a larger story, new characters and events, online dungeon rescue system, and more. Persona 4 Golden is equal parts high school drama and dungeon crawling action. Our protagonist moves to the countryside town of Inaba, makes some friends at school, and bam! A woman's murdered. Over the course of the game, the protagonist and his buds uncover a serial killer, tossing victims into another world via TV screens. And the group of high schoolers is the only thing that can save the day. Think of this as a tale of superpowered high school-age detectives. See, the kids are the modern-day Monster Squad because they wield personas, which are kind of like spiritual Pokemon. When a turn-based battle kicks off, the kids can call in a persona to attack with ice moves, fire punches, and so on. Everything you're doing in the game is building your character and your party, so that when you enter one of the game's dungeons, which are visually varied and based around the kidnapped character, you're fighting the way you want to. You're entering these turn-based encounters when you need to analyze enemies to determine the element they're weak to, and then unleashing the pimped-out persona you've been building your character around. It's a rush to grind, only to find that your squad is powerful enough to topple an enemy that used to give you trouble. And that's a rush you'll find again and again in Persona 4 Golden, especially seeing how a playthrough can take 60 hours and then open a new game plus. Guys, I could talk about this game for 60 hours easy. This game has a lot going for it for the PS Vita. It was the first game I purchased when I got my PS Vita. I looked at it and said, wow, a JRPG. And it wasn't that expensive when I bought it. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to kick this off on the PS Vita as my first game. And let me tell you guys, I spent months playing this game. I enjoyed it very much. I don't want to spoil too much of it, but you're a young teenager, you move to a small town, and I think it's your uncle is a detective working for the police, and there's murders going on, so you're getting tips off him. And you go to your room when you're asked to, you study, you read books, you raise your knowledge levels. It's an incredible game. It's so in-depth. The game is phenomenally in-depth. I don't know, it's gargantuan. It's enormous. And I like it. You arrive at the train station, he's there to pick you up, and then there's a rumor going around and people are disappearing through the TVs. So there's the one hardcore rock and roll guy that goes missing, kidnapped, and you got to save him. So you're going through this like rock and roll dungeon type of dungeon, kind of like a nightclub feel to it. It's amazing. Then once you save him, I don't want to spoil too much of it. He's in the nude and it's kind of funny. He's embarrassed. Same thing with Teddy. And these teenagers are together, and then you're building these personas. So there's this guy in the back of a limousine, and he's giving you cards that you could upgrade your persona to give it different effects. And there's thousands of different molding techniques you could use to create your persona to kick butt in the dungeons. You could do fire, ice, electrical, ones that arc node through other characters. It just goes on forever and ever. This guy, don't be afraid of him. Use the cards he gives you to implement your persona and to customize and raise its levels in the form of what you need to proceed in the game. Because like I was reading in the synopsis of the game, you need to really be very specific with your personas and mold them nicely. And they give you more unlocking features in the game, and it's easier to clear the game when your persona is powerful. So creating a persona is not hard at all. I think exploring the town is a lot of fun. I like going into different shops, talking to people, creating relationships with people in the game, which is a lot of fun. Not just at school. I'm talking about like in shops, grocery stores, the used store, the used secondhand store, the shop where you buy potions and weird stuff, the parks. You meet people in parks. You meet all kinds of things going on, and I think the game is just by far one of the best JRPGs I think I have ever played in my entire life, because of the story. You're hooked. You're so hooked on the story, and then the dungeon. Guys, don't think of dungeon when I say dungeon like Dungeons and Dragons. Dungeons are like walking through old motel type of looking things with doors and stuff, or walking through a nightclub, or walking through a back end of a hardware depot or something. It's really cool, and the music is really good. Unlocking features is really good too. Leveling your characters is really good. I just picture it Final Fantasy on steroids, but with a modern punk and rock and more of a modernized Tokyo feel, city-wise, instead of the whole fantasy plane. More of a Tokyo small town life persona. I could talk about this for days, guys. And Teddy, I love Teddy so much. I recommend this if you have a lot of time. If you're looking to put anywhere from 50 to 120 hours in a game, then I recommend playing Persona 4. It takes a couple of months to clear. It takes a long time. You could clear it maybe in 3 weeks if you really put in 10, 12 hours a day. I don't recommend to, because the game gets old really fast, especially when you're leveling through dungeons. You want to keep it fresh. So play it a couple hours every other day and keep it fresh. Good old Persona 4. Golden. Let me know what you guys think. Like I said, I could talk about this for a trillion hours. The colors, the gameplay, the transitioning in the game, the leveling, the story, saving people that are being kidnapped, collecting clues, talking to the strange man by the pond. I think this is a really good game. Give it a try if you like JRPGs. Mike Martins, you're a handheld junkie. Thank you for watching.